Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're back at the construction site for the Surfside Pier. It's probably been about a month or so since I've been here. So we're just gonna do a construction update video, see if there's been any changes in the last month or so. And I stumbled across some information online that kind of talks about the businesses, or at least one of the businesses that may be located on the pier, which was a former restaurant. So I'm going to talk about that just a little bit. I think that has kind of ruffled the feathers of some of the locals. So if you have any insight or info that I may not provide, feel free to leave a comment underneath the description of this video. So I'm going to walk out on the beach, get a closer look. See you in just a second. So the recording of this video is April 22nd, 2022. Currently about 9 o'clock and about 71 degrees. And the first change that I noticed immediately is the steps here have been covered in concrete. The last time I was here, they were just a wood frame. So it's like you got one run there, and then you got a flat spot, and then another flight of steps. And this right here, I believe, it's going to be an elevator shaft, either this one, or there's another area up there that's similar to that. It's just beyond it. Will be an elevator shaft. And they have started to frame walls on the structure on this end right here, which I don't think was there at all. They had the flooring poured, but there were no walls right here quite yet. We're gonna cut through the Surfside Resort here and head out on the beach. Same way I usually do it. I'll say we're probably moderately busy today here at this resort. This is still technically spring break for some schools in the Carolinas and other areas too, I'm sure. But they also have the roof covered up there. They don't have any, it's not finished yet, but trusses are covered, which I don't think was quite done the last time I was here. Another change that I'm seeing is they have put some scaffolding right there at the end so they can go up and down from their ground on top of there more easily. They're starting to work on this structure, probably to get it up to speed with the other one there, which I believe is going to be kind of like the pier house, where you'll go in and you can rent a rod or get some bait, pay to walk, have some souvenirs and those type of things in there. And the temporary pier itself, which is the one you see and going a good distance out in the water, has gotten a little bit longer. You have to kind of judge that by looking at my previous video to tell how much longer it's gotten in just a month. But I want to say it's probably 3 or 4 of these sections, I would guess. And the permanent pilings I'm seeing, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, still just 5 of those, the permanent ones. They do have some rebar sticking up, which I don't think was there before, so they may be still kind of working on that. And it does appear that if these are already set at the level they're going to be, see this one right here is in the ground further than these. They kind of go up a little further. So I wonder if at the beginning here, there'll be just a little bit of a slope, possibly. Maybe, maybe not. All right, so briefly, I'm going to read off the article I kind of stumbled upon that I mentioned earlier. It basically just says that there's been a number of businesses, most of which are restaurants, surf shops, a couple ice cream / Italian ice type places, bait and tackle, and that's pretty much it. Just a various assortment of that. And it does give some businesses names that have submitted bids. So what I'm kind of wondering if one building is going to be not necessarily dedicated to one business, if they're going to have multiple things and almost have like booths or sections of the building that they would rent and lease out from the town of Surfside Beach. But this is something that's fairly recent. It's actually earlier this month this article was published, and it does say that the town reserves the right to accept or reject any bid in the best interest of the town. And also said there's no deadline set for any decision the town would make regarding these businesses. I'm guessing there's I'm not seeing the date for when exactly the bids are due, but yeah, so that's kind of where they stand on that. So as of right now, I'm guessing maybe for either spot, they don't know exactly what's going there, which is kind of interesting, given that they're doing construction, but they don't know what's going there. So maybe they're just going to have spots, and then the businesses lease the spot, and if they're not leased, then I guess they just sit empty, and they'll be closed off, possibly. I don't know. I still think that this building right here, there has to be a spot somewhere where you pay to enter and walk out on the pier, or get your permits, or rent a rod and those type of things. Has to be something. I don't know if that'll just be cities in a business of the town, or how that'll work, but seems like the rest is kind of up in the air right now. So I'll be sure to include an update on that in the next video I do here, which may be in May, maybe in June. Kind of hard to say at this point. I also wanted to go ahead and mention, as I do in every video I do here, that the webcam on the corner of the building is still functioning. I check it once every other day just to have a look and see that it is live. And I checked it just before I walked out here, and it is still live. And I'll include a link in the description for that. So anybody that's new to the channel that hasn't seen that or is just not familiar with it, will have the opportunity to check it out. Looks like they're fixing to drive this beam further down into the ground right here in front of me. It's actually pulling it up, not hammering it down. Very slowly. I'm gonna walk over to the other side now just to get a different view. The tide's up too high for me to make it around from here. All right, made it to the other side. I do have a few temporary pilings laying right here that are used on the temporary pier. And as far as this building, last time I was here, it was not covered in the wood yet. Not completely anyway. And they're currently putting some more braces right here on the side, it looks like, of the trellis. Trellis, the ramp, whatever you want to call it. I will say that each time I come, it seems that there are more and more workers that are here doing various jobs, so there's kind of a lot going on at one time, different type contractors. So things are in motion, slowly but surely. I haven't read anything in a while that really mentions a tentative completion date. I think originally it was supposed to be fall of this year, which in my opinion, I would be surprised if that happens. Might be surprised if it happens, you know, this year at all, but you never know. You may get to a certain point to where they have more guys working on, you know, the pier itself. The thing that's not different, that I would kind of expect it to be different in a month, is the permanent pilings. The same amount now was the same that was here the last time I was here. So no movement on those really, other than some of the rebar and things that they had attached to the top of them. So not much movement on that, but the structures here and the temporary pier have definitely gotten more attention. So I think that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed this update, I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing if you haven't. That'll keep you in the loop of future videos from this site and other beach areas, things in the mountains, and all sorts of things like that. I appreciate you watching, and stay tuned until next time. See you in the next video.